Hey, what's going on guys, it's Tom here, back today with another video, and today I'm going to be starting another kind of mini series where I'm just covering another pretty key aspect of Black Ops 2 multiplayer. And you guys should know that so far I've already covered the perks and the score streak, so if you missed any of them, head over to my channel page, and also be sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel. But today I'm going to be covering the attachments, and I do think the attachments in this year's game are going to play a bigger role than the attachments have played in any other game, and that's because they've actually changed the way things work this year. And you guys might remember from my perks video, perks now only affect the player, and the attachments are the only thing that affects the gun. So, you know, the power perks in the previous games like sleight of hand, steady aim, stalker, quick draw, those kind of things, those are no longer perks. Those are now kind of converted into attachments, and I'm going to cover all of those in this little series. And attachments are going to be unlocked by leveling up your gun. Yes, leveling up guns is going to be returning. One interesting thing that's actually just come out over Twitter, David Vonderhaar has just tweeted saying that in Black Ops 2, when you prestige, your gun level actually doesn't get reset. So that's really good. You know, this is one of the things that actually is going to encourage prestiging in this year's game. And once you unlock an attachment once for a weapon, you're never going to have to unlock it again, even if you do prestige. So let's get started with some of these attachments. So the first one I'm going to be covering is the ACOG. You can see the ACOG over there on the left. I don't personally like the ACOG that much. You can see what it looks like where you're aiming down sight right there, and I know it's just a bit too obtrusive for me. I don't really like it. It tends to just take away too much from the gun. So I don't think I'm going to be running with the ACOG too much in this year's game. The next attachment we've got right here is Select Fire, and this is a brand new attachment, and it's a really interesting idea, and apparently they've actually tried to do this before in previous games, but they've only actually gone through with it in this year's game, and to be able to select fire, as I said, it's just really interesting. You know, I just think you can go from fully automatic to semi-automatic to like burst fire by just actually hitting left on the D-pad. So I'm probably going to be running with this on a few of my classes. Personally, I'm a big fan of the burst fire weapon, so I'll probably be switching a lot of fully automatic guns to burst fire. The next one we have is the reflex sight, and I wasn't a big fan of the reflex sight in the original Black Ops purely because I didn't really like the way it looked, but in this year's game it actually looks very similar to the red dot sight we saw in Call of Duty 4, so I think visually it looks really good. I think it may actually be the kind of go-to optic. So if you're not a big fan of the iron sights on a gun, you could just use the reflex and give yourself a really clear view. The next attachment we've got right here is Fast Mag, and this looks very similar to Dual Mag from the previous games, and this right here is going to be one of the power attachments in this year's game. I've got a feeling I'm going to be running this on a lot of my classes. This is basically the sleight of hand perk from previous Call of Duty games. I just think that I'm just going to be running this on pretty much every class, as I already said. This is going to actually cut your reload time down by about half, so that's just going to really help you in all your gunfights. And I'm not actually 100% sure if it's going to be like the dual mags in the original Black Ops, where it gave you a faster reload for every other reload, so we'll actually have to wait to see about that one. Next one we have is the dual wield attachment, and yes, the dual wield is coming back. It's a big favourite in Black Ops, but I do think that this year it's not going to be as good because I don't believe it's available on submachine guns. I think this is only available for pistols, but they may actually change that before the game comes out. So dual wield, so far it's only been spotted on a pistol. I think it was a B23R. That's one of the pistols that's going to be in the game. We're spotted with dual wield, so I don't know, it's pretty cool. You know, I think if it's available on the gun, I think it's the Executioner. That's a really powerful pistol. Those could be an absolute beast, but unfortunately there's not going to be any dual Scorpions in this year's game. Now the final attachment we've got in this first episode is going to be Extended Clip, and this is what we've known before as extended magazines. It's just going to grant you more ammo for your weapon, and typically it's around a 50% increase in ammo, and I do think this again is a very good attachment. This year it might actually be a little less prominent because of the kind of power attachments I'm going to be highlighting for you guys that are actually going to act as perks from previous games. So anyway guys, that's the first set of attachments that I've covered in this series. I'm really, as I said earlier, I'm really looking forward to using the attachments because I do think they're going to be, you know, they're going to be the perks of the previous games. I don't think perks are going to play as big a role as attachments in this year's game. The fact that you can actually have 3 attachments on your primary, if you use the primary gunfighter wildcard, is just, you know, really good. I'm probably going to be running with 3 attachments on most of my primaries in the game, and I'm going to be giving you a few classes that you can use when the game comes out in a few weeks time. So anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this first series. Be sure to drop a like if you did. As I said earlier, make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel. Check out some of my previous videos, got a couple of those on screen right now. And apart from that, I'll catch you guys with another video very soon.